Hello, happy full moon. Tonight we will be celebrating the Beaver or the blood full moon. Let's take a minute and kind of gather ourselves and settle in a little bit, finding some space. Find a quiet place at home, maybe turn the lights down, maybe light a candle, roll out your mat, grab a cup of tea, find a cozy place where you can practice without being disturbed, without being distracted or having too much of the outside world intrude upon your mat and your practice. And as we get settled in, we'll take a few minutes to talk about what we're doing this evening, to discuss the energies of this full moon, including the lunar eclipse that happened this morning at 5:20, I believe was about the time it was at its peak. And we'll do a little bit of talking about that, and then we'll move right into our practice. So if you're just joining me, welcome. I'm glad you're all here. If you're watching live, hello. If you're watching on the replay, hello. I'm so glad all of you are joining me, practicing with me, and really celebrating this second to last full moon of the year and our final lunar eclipse until 2025, 2 years from now, 3 years from now almost. So as we get started, take a moment and, like I said, make sure you are in a quiet, cozy place that you feel comfortable and can just kind of unwind and release. You will also want to grab a couple of blocks. If you are at home and don't have blocks, books work, water bottles, all of that works. Maybe have a chair by you instead. We also want to have a blanket or two and maybe a pillow or a cushion or anything else just to kind of get a little comfortable. And as I say that, I realize that I don't have any of my props. So I'm going to run and get my props, and then we'll start talking about the full moon. All right, here we go. I have my blocks, I have my blankets, I have my plant friends by me. So let's dive into a little bit of discussion about what the full moon is that we are honoring and playing with this evening. First, let me introduce myself. I'm Chris Batzner. I am the creator and curator of the Awakened Yoga Collective, which is a Facebook group and also a YouTube channel, and where we do all things yoga, energetics, kundalini, manifestation, and magic. And so tonight we are here to celebrate this blood moon or beaver moon, which is the full moon for the month of November in 2022. Let's talk a little bit about what this full moon means. This moon is all about unexpected change, of going with the flow. This is a full moon in Taurus, which is strong forward momentum energy tonight. This is a full moon that finally allows us to start manifesting and making changes, taking action, and really moving into the next chapter. If you've practiced with me over the last couple of months, you know that these last couple of full moons have been passive is not the right word, but a lot of waiting, a lot of dreaming, a lot of being still, a lot of observing, a lot of completion. And so this full moon brings us a little bit more into action. So this moon can have us feeling torn between wanting to do everything all at once and getting it done and going, and feeling overwhelmed and wanting to kind of slow down and take a moment, take a pause, breathe, and just recollect ourselves. With the eclipse, which comes into play, the full moon happened at 6:02, and the eclipse, it was a full lunar eclipse, happened at 5:20-ish. And so that brings in all sorts of interesting energy into this full moon. Full moons are always times of action. They're always times of manifestation, of starting new. And the waning part of this moon comes into releasing and letting go of discarding, getting rid of current ways of thinking and transitioning to the new. With this lunar eclipse, that disrupts, that brings up, discombobulated is a really great word that I love, brings up mixed up energy, and it allows us, it kind of stops us in our tracks and confuses us and gives us an opportunity to re-explore how we perceive things, how we think of things, and how we do things. It is almost like a bump in the road that kind of jars us awake. And this full moon being a moon of action and manifestation into the future, that bump in the road gives us a really great opportunity to step back and notice, like, oh, wakes us up and realizes that there are more ways to do things than just what we've been doing in the past. And there are things that we can do differently, or we can perceive things differently. So this practice tonight is going to play with a little bit of that energy. We are going to do things unexpectedly. We are going to move differently on our mat. We are going to move off of our mat. We are going to move backwards and forwards on our mat. And we will let go of our expected practices and our expected tendencies in this evening, just because we want to kind of give ourselves that experience of stepping out of our comfort zone and expecting the unexpected. Because when we are in the unexpected, we are in a different state of observation. And when we practice that on our mat, which is our comfort zone, our safe space, that gives us the opportunity to not only practice it here, but carry that over into our lives. To get comfortable with that feeling of unsettled and unexpected and, whoa, what's happening? Oh, this is interesting. So I encourage you tonight to go with the flow, to just ride the ride and ask that question. Take that stance of, oh, this is interesting. Oh, I wonder where we're going next. Oh, this is interesting. Let go of those expectations. This is a time to really practice being present without any strings attached. So that being said, we will need a blanket or two. We will need a couple of blocks. And obviously a quiet little space. And as we get started, I want, and also you might want to grab a journal. If you are a writer, you might want to grab a journal, have a pen and paper to write on. I have my blank page next to my notes tonight. And I want to talk about a couple parts of our practice before we begin. This practice will dabble in some Kundalini mini Kriyas tonight. We will be following Sufi grind. We will begin with Sufi grind. We will call in Sat Kriya. And Kriya simply means complete set of movements. And so with Sat Kriya, I love it because it is a pranic Kriya, which is breath, that prana, that life force energy. And it also brings in our focus and awareness to our pelvic floor and our navel, so our foundational chakras. This full moon, and all of these full moons, are fluid and feminine, and we want to call in the bowl of the pelvis and that concept of fluidity and movement and expression. And so Sat Kriya brings all of our energy into our pelvic girdle and our navel. And so with this mantra, and I will remind you about it as we get into it when it comes into our practice, it's near the end. With Sat Kriya, we inhale and exhale, and we speak as we inhale and exhale. So as we inhale, we say Sat, S-A-T. And then we exhale on Nam, 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 Nam. That will be our mantra. That's our Sat Kriya. At the same time as I inhale, when I say Sat, I draw the pelvic floor up and in, and I lift the navel up and in. So it's a contraction, and then a release on the Nam. Inhaling contracts, exhaling Nam, release. So that will be how we do Sat Kriya. I will remind you, we'll add some hand movements as well. The other breath I want to go over is one that you're probably familiar with if you practice with me at all. It's breath of fire. That is that strong diaphragmatic exhale through the nose. It is an exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. The strength and the focus is on the exhale. The inhale is a reflex, but it happens every time. So it sounds like this. We just keep going. There will come a point in Breath of Fire, I always like to say, your monkey mind kicks into overdrive and says, oh my God, I'm going to die. Ask the question, what if? Play with that curiosity. Oh, this is interesting. See what happens if maybe you do one more pulse, one more cycle of breath. If the answer is you need to stop, please stop. Don't push it. But maybe, just maybe, we give our body the opportunity to flip the switch and regulate that breath a little bit differently. Again, tonight is all about expecting the unexpected and playing in a place beyond our comfort zone and letting whatever happens happen and be okay with that. So I think that we are ready to go. So let's come to a comfortable seated position. Support our hips with a blanket, support our knees with blocks or pillows, and just soften the gaze or close the eyes. Feel the spine lengthening into the crown of the head. And take a few moments just feeling into our body this evening. Finding the breath. Notice the tongue. Maybe it's pressing into the roof of the mouth or the back of the teeth. And just let the tongue pull away and float in the mouth. I was talking to one of my private clients today about that. And I tell my kids, when I do kids yoga, I always tell them to imagine that the tongue is a whale floating in the middle of the ocean. And that concept of a whale, which is a big animal, opens the jaw and the tongue tries to just not touch the edges. That opens the throat and allows us to breathe a little deeper. Start to lengthen out the breath. And take just another moment right here. Keeping our eyes closed if we'd like. Hands come to the knees. And we begin to make circles with our body. So we inhale as we circle forward. We exhale as we circle back. And the eyes can remain closed, just feeling into the sensation, into the movement. This is called Sufi grind. In Kundalini, we often begin our practices with this. This is a beautiful way to start to open that pelvis. Remember, we talked about that moon energy being in the pelvis. This is a beautiful way to connect upper and lower halves, to really integrate all parts of the body. Keep going in that same direction. Again, we're all about getting past that comfort zone, moving beyond the familiar, stepping into a new way of observing, of existing, of acting, of being. And now we get to go the opposite direction. Continuing to inhale as we move forward, exhale as we move back. Almost there, keep going. Notice when the monkey mind wants to take over. Notice when we start to distract ourselves. Return to the breath and the movement. Inhale, coming to center. Pause here. Let the breath continue, but feel the stillness in the body, the stacking of the spine. Notice the breath. Beautiful. We'll make our way into child's pose. And as you do this, you might want to tuck a blanket under the knees. So if being on your knees is something that is just really uncomfortable for you, you can do this seated. You just won't do the legs. The upper body will move with us. We just won't be on our knees. You can do this seated. Okay, so we want our knees to stay hip distance apart as we settle into child's pose. Again, this may be a little awkward and a little uncomfortable. Go with it. Notice what comes up. Notice what you are aware of. Take a breath right here in child's pose. And as we inhale, we slowly rise up to a tall kneel. Arms reach overhead. Grab a hold of the right wrist. Side bend to the left. Good. Inhale back to center. Exhale to child's pose. As we come up to tall kneel again, our right leg will extend out to the side. Yes, it is off of your mat. Arms come open to the side. Exhale, gate pose. So that right hand falls towards that right leg and we reach overhead. Good. Inhale, back up. Arms reach out to the side. Exhale, that left hand to the mat. Right foot lifts, supported side plank, just for a breath. Good. Inhale to gate pose. Exhale, hands come to the mat. So our foot is off of the mat. Draw the belly up and in. Left arm reaches to the sky. Exhale, we thread the needle, reaching towards those right toes that are extended. Inhale, come back up, left arm lifts. Exhale again, reach towards those toes. One more time. Reach underneath. Come back to all fours and bring the knee in line. Inhale again, tall kneel, arms reach overhead. Exhale, child's pose. Take a breath in child's pose. So notice already how it feels a little discombobulated. It's unfamiliar ways of moving. We're already off of our mat. We're moving in different ways than we're used to. Go with the flow. Notice what arises. On the inhale, rise to that tall kneel. Grab the right wrist. Side bend to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, rise up. Grab the left wrist, side bend to the right. So we add it on. Inhale to center. One more time, child's pose. Or forward fold if we're seated. Inhale, rise up to that tall kneel and the left foot extends out to the side. Arms come open to shoulder height. Exhale, side bend over that left leg. Gate pose. Inhale, arms reach open. Exhale, right hand to the mat. Left foot lifts, supported side plank. Good. Inhale, back up. Exhale, hands come to the mat. That left leg stays open. Right arm reaches to the sky. Exhale, reaches underneath towards those left toes. Two more, just like that. Inhale, open to twist. Exhale, tuck it under. One more, following your own breath. Good. As we come back, hands to the mat, knees come to the mat. Inhale, reach tall, gaze lifts. Exhale, child's pose. This time the knees can spread nice and wide. The forehead releases towards the earth or a block. And we'll just take a few breaths right here. Just noticing, breathing, feeling into the practice already. One more breath in child's pose. And then we'll tuck our toes and lift our hips to downward facing dog, that inverted V. We can bend our knees, lean back. Maybe we move around, bicycling out the feet. Rocking the hips side to side. And then we bring our right foot forward between our hands. The back knee comes to the earth. So we'll be in a lunge. And while we're here, we might want to put the blocks in front of the mat on either side, kind of nearby. We don't need them quite yet. As we inhale, arms reach overhead, hips lower. That back knee can be patted as much as we need to. Inhale, lift the heart, and as we exhale, we'll side bend to the right. Let the right hand release. Maybe we grab a block to place underneath that hand. Gaze looks up past that left armpit. Good. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Gaze looks past the right armpit. Maybe we have a block under our hands are on our hips, or the hand is on the earth. Inhale, back up, fingertips touch. Exhale, side bend again to the right. Inhale up. Exhale to the left. Inhale up. One more on each side. Exhale, side bending. Inhale to center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale to center. New move here. As we exhale, we straighten the front leg and fold forward. This may be where we grab those blocks. Plant the front foot, bend the knee, inhale, reach overhead, low lunge. Good. Exhale, straighten the front leg, fold over. Inhale, back to our lunge. Two more just like this, folding forward, letting the wobbles happen, embracing them as we want to, as they happen. Good, and then this last time we'll pause here with the legs straight, folded over, toes lift, tailbone rolls open, belly draws up and in, and we fold over that straight leg. Take a few breaths. Say hello to your hammies. Good, bend the front knee, move the blocks out of the way. Lift the back knee and turn to the side of the mat. Toes in line with the heels. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Take a wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, half lift again, and we'll walk our hands towards the left foot or the back of the mat. My left knee bends. Keep the right hand on the ground as, again, we twist. Left arm lifts. We're twisting towards that bent knee. Exhale, release the hands. Maybe we stay here and twist again. Maybe we go deeper into a Skandasana. So our hips sink, our right toes point towards the sky. Maybe we keep our hands on the earth. Maybe we find a little balance. Good. To go even deeper, the right hand comes to the earth. Left arm reaches overhead. So we side bend to the right. Embrace those wobbles. Good. Back to center. Hands to heart option. Hands come to the earth. Straighten the front leg or the left leg and fold to center one more time. Good. Move around, shake it out. And then walk yourself to face the back of the mat. Frame that left foot. Lift the right heel. And we rise up to a high lunge. Arms reach overhead. And as we exhale, interlace the hands behind us. Palms stay together. Elbows draw back, shoulders draw back. Arms start to straighten. Option to keep the elbows bent. Belly draws in. Two choices here. Breath of fire, which is that strong diaphragmatic breath, or long, slow breaths. Soften the gaze. And if we take breath of fire, take a breath in and begin. Let the gaze soften, but the eyes stay open tonight. Whether we're doing breath of fire or long, even breaths, the gaze is soft and almost as if we're looking past what's in front of us. We see beyond the walls in this room or the field of our vision. The stillness in our body, the only movement is breath. And our gaze is even still and strong. Almost there. Soften the jaw. Feel the steadiness of the legs. Inhale. Exhale, release the bind. Hands come to the heart for just a moment. Inhale here again. Exhale, fold to the earth and step to a forward fold at the back of the mat. So we'll be facing the back of the mat. Inhale, half lift, draw the belly up and in. Exhale, fold deep. Maybe we grab opposite elbows. Move around, whatever feels good here. Good, release the hands. Inhale, half lift again. Strong spine, strong belly. Exhale, fold it deep. Inhale, press through the feet, rise all the way up. Grab hold of the left wrist, side bend to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, switch. Hold the left wrist, side bend, or right wrist, side bend to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, fold all the way down. Good. The right foot steps us back. Knee to the mat. So we come into our low lunge, just like we did on the other side. Take a minute and grab those blocks. Bring them to the back of the mat on either side of that left foot. Good. From here, lift our hearts, sink our hips. Take a moment, get settled in, find your groove. And then inhale, arms reach overhead. As we exhale, we side bend to the left first. Maybe there's a block underneath our hands. Our gaze looks up past that right armpit. Inhale to center. Exhale, side bend to the right. Gaze looks up past the left arm. Hips are heavy here. Inhale, back up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Again, find the flow. Inhaling to center, fingertips touch. Exhale, side bend. One more, really letting this movement become fluid and graceful and beautiful. Ooh, embrace the wobbles. As we exhale, hands come to the blocks. We straighten the front leg, the left leg. Who knows if it's front or back anymore, right? We're facing the back of our mat, so I don't know, the left leg. Fold over the leg for a moment. And then we start this flow. Plant the left foot, bend the knee, inhale, arms overhead. Low lunge. Exhale, straighten the leg, fold forward. Inhale, sink the hips, lift the heart. Exhale, fold. One more, rise up, embrace the wobbles. This is my wiggly side. Exhale, fold, and we'll stay this time. Lift the toes, roll the tailbone open, fold over that left leg. Find the breath. Notice how we respond in those moments that are wobbly and challenging. Can we laugh at ourselves? Can we just go with it and say, well, that's just the way it is? Couple more breaths. Bend the front knee, sink the hips, tuck the back toes, lift the knee, the right knee, and walk ourselves again to face the side of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold deep. Take a moment in this wide-legged forward fold, facing the side of the mat. Good, and then we inhale, half lift. Walk our hands towards that right foot, back towards the front of the mat. Bend the right knee. Left hand stays on the mat or a block. Right arm lifts to twist, so we twist towards that bent knee. Good. Exhale, hand releases. We can do just that again, or maybe we bend the right knee even more, sink the hips, left toes turn open, moving into Skandasana. Hands to heart. Pelvic floor is engaged. We're nice and strong here. Maybe that left hand reaches out and we side bend to the left. Option, not necessity. Good. Come back to center. Hands come to the mat. Straighten that right leg and take a forward fold in the middle of the mat again. Wide legs. Beautiful. Half lift. Walk ourselves to face the front of the mat and step back to that beautiful downward dog, that inverted V. Hips pressing back. Put a little bit of movement in. This practice is about fluidity and expression, so let your body embrace that. Move around. Feel into what your body wants to do. Do it. Take advantage of this time. And from a downward dog, we'll move to the other side. I'm going to turn myself around so I can still face the camera. And now our left foot will come forward between our hands. This time we stay on our back toes as we rise up to our high lunge. Shoulders out of the ears, find stability. Inhale, lift the heart, grow longer. As we exhale, we'll twist to the left. Hands come out to shoulder height. Fingers reach away. Scissor the inner thighs together. My right hip comes forward. My left hip draws back. Inhale, arms come up to center. Exhale, open to warrior two. This takes a little bit of navigating with our feet. Good. Inhale, come back to our high lunge. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale to center, nice and slow. It's easy to rush through this. One more time. Really lift the heart here. Exhale, twist. Keep growing tall. Exhale, warrior two. Shoulders out of the ears. Gazes over that front hand, which is the left one. Beautiful. Hands come to the hips. Straighten the front leg, the left leg. Turn the toes towards the side of the mat. Inhale, arms reach open. Exhale, fold forward. Take a wide-legged forward fold. Move around. Bend the knees, bring the heels in compared to the toes, heels in, toes out. Roll up to goddess. Shoulders out of the ears. So this is another mini Kundalini Kriya, and I'm going to move slowly first. Inhale in goddess. And as we exhale, we'll pivot towards the front of the mat, which is towards that left foot. Coming into that high lunge, my forearms are going to come towards each other, but they're not going to touch. I'm going to really reach as far as I can go. As we inhale, I come back to goddess, palms face up. Exhale takes us the other way. So I'm going to turn towards the back of my mat, towards my right foot. My left heel lifts. Forearms come towards each other, and I really reach, reach, reach. Inhale to goddess. This is our flow. Exhale, reach to the left side, the front of the mat. Inhale, goddess. Open to the center. Exhale to the right, towards the back of the mat. Inhale to center. Keep going. We're going to do this for a full minute. Follow your own breath. Let the gaze soften. If you want a real challenge, you can close your eyes. I always like to say I enjoy feeling the earth move under my feet when I do that. Find your own rhythm. Rest when you need to. Always follow the breath. Make any changes you need to support your body. Feel the fluidity in the pelvis. One more to each side. We'll meet in goddess. Beautiful. Hands to the hips, straighten those legs. Woo! Toes turn to the side of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Take a moment in a forward fold, maybe move around. Breathe. And then we'll turn to face the back of the mat, which is the right foot. The left heel lifts, and we inhale all the way up to our high lunge. As we exhale, interlace the fingers behind us, palms together, elbows back, shoulders back. Maybe we even switch the cross of our fingers when we get there. Start to straighten those arms as an option, not necessity. Soft jaw, soft gaze. This is a place where we can find, again, breath of fire, if it feels good to us, or long, slow breaths, strong legs. Let's take a breath in if we're doing breath of fire, and begin. Again, let the gaze pass beyond the boundaries of this room, the boundaries of your space. Look past our field of vision. See in a different way. Breath of fire is a beautiful way to build up some pranic energy, some of that breath and that life force. Let it build. Feel it building in your body. Almost there. Inhale. Exhale, release the hands. Sweep them overhead. And then hands come to the mat. Take a forward fold facing the back of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Draw the belly in. Create space. Exhale, fold deep. Again, maybe we grab opposite elbows. Maybe we just make a rainbow around our feet. You decide what feels good to you. And then release the hands. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms reach overhead. Grab hold of the left wrist, side bend to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, side bend to the left, holding onto that right wrist. Good, inhale to center. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. And again, the left foot steps back. Stay on those toes and we rise up to that high lunge. Arms reach overhead, find stability. Take a moment and settle in. And then as we exhale, we'll twist to the right. Arms reach out to shoulder height. Draw the inner thighs together. Let the hips and the legs start to twist. Right hip presses back. Left hip draws forward. Inhale to center, arms reach. Exhale, plant the heel, open to warrior two. Adjust the stance. Takes a little bit of negotiating there. Inhale, sweep it forward, arms reach. Exhale, twist. Inhale to center. Exhale, warrior two. Beautiful. One more. Inhale to center. Lift the heart, find length. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, warrior two. Pause and breathe right here. Gaze is over those right hands, which is towards the back of the mat. Good, hands come to the hips, straighten the right leg, turn the toes towards the side of the mat. Arms open wide, and then we fold forward. Take a moment in your forward fold right here. Letting the lower back lengthen, pressing through the heels. And then inhale, half lift. Walk our hands back around to the front of the mat, frame the left foot, and then we step back to downward dog. Take a moment in downward dog, move around, stretch it out. And as we're ready, we'll bring the knees to the earth nice and wide, hips settle back, finding child's pose. Arms can come beside our body if that feels good. And just settle in, take a few breaths right here. Feel the body. Feel the thoughts, notice the thoughts. Find the breath. Beautiful. From here, we'll just simply rise up onto our heels. This may be a place where you slide a block between the feet so you can sit back on the block instead of your heels. Pillows, bolsters work as well. If none of this is a really great option for you, easy seated pose, crisscross, or legs straight out, straddle, or in front of you. We will move into our Sat Kriya. And again, this is that pranic kriya. We're building that energy, that pranic force, that fluidity in the pelvis and the navel, the root chakras here. Our mantra is Sat Nam. And as we inhale, we say Sat. And we exhale on Nam. So it's a little bit different. We speak on the inhale and the exhale. Nam. And at the same time, we inhale, contract our pelvic floor and lift the navel. And we exhale and release. So that's our mantra. Our mudra, our hands, you can simply interlace the fingers with the pointer fingers out, so Kali mudra, or we can have a little bit more fun with it. So I like to take my hands face down. I cross my right over my left, so my pinkies touch, and then I bring my palms together, interlace my fingers. Pointer fingers can straighten out. Let me do that one more time. It's a little confusing. If you think too hard, it's gone. So hands out in front of us, palms face the earth. Right on top of left, pinkies touch. And then we simply close the palms together and interlace the fingers, pointer fingers to the sky. So whatever version, arms reach overhead. Squeeze the arms towards the ears. And we'll be here for a minute. So if you need to rest, simply bring the hands to the lap. Hands come to the earth, whatever feels good, release those shoulders. So as we're ready, let's take a breath in. Exhale, we begin on the inhale with Sat and begin. Eyes can close, feel the breath, the movement of the pelvis and the navel, the lower chakras, the engagement of the diaphragm, the unusualness of speaking on the inhale. Keep squeezing the arms to the ears. We're almost there. Inhale. Exhale, release the hands and the breath. Whee! Palms rest face up. Feel that flush of circulation, that pranic energy. Woo! Notice how it flows through the body. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. From here, we will move into a seated position for some meditation. Find a comfortable space, whatever that means for you, whether you are sitting on a blanket, whether you're in a chair. We'll be here for a few minutes. Let the hands rest on the lap. Let the eyes close or the gaze soften. That may be hard after our Sat Kriya. There's a lot of energy flowing right now. Again, just notice, right? Go with that flow. Let whatever happens, happen. It's a great learning experience, isn't it? Feel the breath. And as we move into our meditation before our Shavasana, I want us to move into a mental Nadi Shodhana. So Nadi Shodhana is alternate nostril breath, and this is a mental focus. This helps ground us, it helps focus and draw us into this moment. So to begin with, notice the flow of the breath in and out of the nostrils. Lips are sealed, but that jaw is soft. And again, that tongue just simply floats in the ocean of our mouth. Start to lengthen the breath out. Let the inhales equal the exhales. And we'll begin our alternate nostril breath on an exhale. So really tune into each nostril. And let's take a breath in through both. As we exhale, imagine the breath only flowing out through the left nostril. As we inhale, bring it in through just the left nostril. Pause. Exhale through just the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Pause. We return to the left side. Exhale. Inhale through the left. Pause at the top. That's the transition to the other side. Exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through the right. And continue in your own time. So we'll stay here practicing that mental Nadi Shodhana, that alternate nostril breath, for just another minute. Just a little bit longer, a little bit more. One more on each side, completing this cycle with an inhale through the right nostril. Taking your time. And when that breath, that Nadi Shodhana, is complete, returning to equal breath through both nostrils at the same time. Integrating the breath fully back into balance. Feel the difference. And as we feel ready, we'll lay down into Shavasana, resting fully down on the mat, lying on our backs, finding any support we need, a blanket under the knees or a pillow under the knees, a blanket under the head. Let the feet fall open to the side. Let the hands rest wide, shoulders tuck underneath us. Check in with the lower back, make sure it feels supported. Check in with the head and neck, make sure it feels supported as well. And then close the eyes or soften the gaze and let the breath just melt away. Feel the body grow heavy in the mat. And notice the work we've done. As we disrupt and put bumps in the road, we pause and mix things up. That gives us an opportunity to explore new ways, to ask the question, now what? And in those moments, we have the opportunity to practice grace and gratitude, to find new ways to bring harmony into our bodies and our lives, to feel joy and laugh at our baubles and our realizations, the process. And this grace and this gratitude, this harmony and this joy are our native states, our innate resting states. And the more we return to those, the more we bring them into our daily existence, the more they become part of our nature, part of our being and our actions and our attitudes. And so in this practice tonight, when we do things differently and we mix things up and move off of our mat and get confused, that gives us the opportunity to use our emotions as a tool to become more evolved, to become more aware, to notice the signals and alignments and misalignments. This is our opportunity to resonate with the universal mind. And within this full moon and this lunar eclipse, now is the time to tap into that universal mind. And let us take action with that guidance. When we step out of our comfort zone, we grow. When we go with the flow, we adapt and become flexible. This moment right now, as we celebrate the full moon, is a beginning and an ending. It's an ending and a beginning. And so step into that space of closure, of newness, of completeness, of beginnings. And rest there for a few moments. Take just another moment here in rest, noticing any downloads, aware of synchronicities and enlightenments. Take note. And as we're ready, slowly put movement back into our bodies. Wiggling fingers and toes. Moving our head and any other parts of our body that feel ready. Taking our time. And then rubbing the palms of our hands together. Rubbing the soles of our feet together. That's weird, isn't it? Connecting those together. And then taking a full body stretch and roll to our side, resting there for just a moment. When ready, help ourselves to a comfortable seated position. Eyes remain closed. Focus inwards. Let's rub our hands once again into each other, creating friction and connection, warmth. And then press our palms into each other. Thumbs come to the sternum, completing that heart orbit. Lift the heart to meet the hands. We'll finish with a single sat nam, a long sat, a short nam. And that simply means I am truth, I am light, I am. Let's inhale to begin. Sat Nam. May the long-time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within guide your way on. Sat Nam, my friends. Happy full moon, happy manifesting. If you are so inclined to journal, here are some questions. What is something you are ready to disassemble? What is something you are ready to disassemble? It's the first question. And the other question is, what feels resonant in your life right now? What feels resonant in your life right now? Satnam. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, friends. I'm so glad you were here tonight. Happy full moon, happy manifesting, and I will see you again so very soon.